I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
Lies. Oh, lies!
Hey my pets, how's it hanging? So, anyone would know who has access to the internet that Spider-Man is leaving the MCU. As you would have guessed from me.
I am really ticked off!
But yeah, I'm really sad about that because I thought everyone knew it was inevitable, of course, because it was only set up to do a certain few movies for Spider-Man with the Marvel and Sony partnership. But just like, you thought that something would happen, that Sony would help out by making more movies with them, or Marvel was just gonna buy Spider-Man, or something was gonna happen that would show hope, but nothing. This destroys any chance of future meetups with heroes that is gonna be coming from the Fox Studios. Like, come on, that means that because of that, now there's gonna be no friendship between Johnny Storm and Spider-Man. Like, that's one of the most iconic friendships in the Marvel universe. Now that'll never happen, and also Deadpool will never be Spider-Man. That is like another, well, I know it's kind of frenemies, but still, that is something that will never happen now. I know they're saying that Tom Holland's going to be in the next few movies as well, so they say he's not leaving. But that means he's going to have to pretend like nothing happened in the MCU. He's not going to be able to speak at all about it. No, he's going to forget about Tony. He's going to like lose every part of like the connection to the MCU, and like he's not going to be able to talk to Nick Fury anymore, or anything, or any character at all that's in the MCU. He's going to have to cut out altogether. Like Happy Hogan, he can't be in it. I'm not blaming any specific party because I know that Disney are as much to blame as Sony, because Disney, they actually made Sony pay for everything, like the travelling costs and all that for all the different places that was filmed for Far From Home and Homecoming. So Disney can't say a word because they're just as bad. But Sony should have just done something just to stay in the MCU, because everyone did not notice the fact that how good he is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because Spider-Man in the comics especially works so well by himself, but also works so well in teams and with some other superhero. That whole cliffhanger at the end of Far From Home thrown away. Technically this video is not supposed to be about that. Like, the fact that all this was talking about Spider-Man and all that, I wanted to rank all the Spider-Man films that has come out over the last 20 years. Some people may not agree with my ranking. Tell me down below what your ranking is, and tell me why. So, before I say anything, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and let's get into the video. So, first movie, as you would kind of guess from like maybe from seeing my tweets a number of times and my Instagram posts as well about it, also the fact I'm wearing the suit from it as well, Spider-Man Far From Home is #1. Spider-Man Far From Home is the best Spider-Man film ever, because there's so many like amazing stuff in it. Like the soundtrack is amazing. Like, come on, Michael Giacchino doing the music was just amazing. Like, I just love every moment of it. Just the plot of it, and like the Mysterio especially. Come on, Jake Gyllenhaal does an amazing job as Mysterio, and I just love him so much. And the fact that at first, like for a while, you think, oh wait, maybe he is good, like the way they made the Skrulls out to be good in Captain Marvel. But I just like, oh my god, Mysterio is good actually. But then suddenly he just twists around and it's like, oh my god, he's actually a big bad. And like there's so many people here who's actually working with him and all this stuff. And I just love Mysterio, and he did some more modern version, because like instead of like using like illusions, like movie tricks and all that, he uses like holograms and stuff to make up stuff, and it's just so cool, and I love it. Of course, Tom Holland, I've already said it, Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man ever. No one can say anything else, because people may say, oh, Tobey Maguire is better, or Andrew Garfield was better. No, Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man ever, because he's an amazing Spider-Man, and he's also a sensational Peter Parker as well. He's truly the ultimate Spider-Man. He does so well in the MCU. I have like Nick Fury as well, like being a badass, even though technically it wasn't Nick Fury, it was a Skrull. But still, it has like so many like, comic moments. You just like, you go nuts about it, and it's like, yes. And also, it's Far From Home. There's one thing that Homecoming didn't do for me. I did not like Ned or MJ in the original film, because it was just like, they were super annoying. They were just annoying side characters. I didn't want in the movie at all. But this movie made me fall in love with both MJ and Ned, and it's just so good. I love them so much. It's just so good, that film. So #2 will be, because of nostalgic reasons, I just Tobey Maguire's very first film, Spider-Man. back in 2002, because Spider-Man, it was literally their first live action film ever, and it's just when you first watched it, I was like, oh my god, it's just so good. I loved Spider-Man, the original one, because I could literally watch that movie and quote every single line as I'm watching it. I watched it that many times when I was younger. And just Tobey Maguire, he just does brilliantly as Spider-Man as well. Well, actually, I'm going to say what everyone else says. Tobey Maguire was the better Peter Parker. Like, there's actually a way to rank like the three Peter Parkers in Spider-Man. Peter Parker was hands down Tobey Maguire. He was done a brilliant Peter Parker, but he didn't do a good Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield did a good Spider-Man, but he was a terrible Peter Parker. And then Tom Holland, as I already said, he is like a perfect package all over. He's both amazing Spider-Man and he's like just a great Peter Parker, and I love it so much. But yeah, Tobey Maguire, he does well as Spider-Man. He doesn't do amazingly, but he still does good, and the suit was really good too. I really have to get Sam Raimi's suit as well. Sam Raimi's suit was brilliant. And not to forget the most iconic soundtrack of Spider-Man ever, Danny Elfman. Oh my god, anyone who says that there's a better soundtrack than any other film, they're wrong. Your point is invalid. Danny Elfman did the best Spider-Man soundtrack ever. Like, it's the main theme alone is just, it blows you away. And like, if you listen to it in a gym or something, it can really hype you up, and oh my god, it's just the best soundtrack ever for a Spider-Man film. So I can not stress enough how much I love the Danny Elfman soundtrack for Spider-Man. Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin was amazing. If you don't agree, then fine, that's your opinion, but I think that Willem Dafoe was a brilliant Green Goblin. It's just his laugh and everything was just brilliant. The only kind of stuff I didn't like was Kirsten Dunst. I just didn't like her as Mary Jane. She was alright in the first one. The first one she was fine in. Like, I didn't really mind her altogether overall, but it's just like, as the movies went on, she just kind of got worse and worse. Overall, the first film just did really well, and I just loved it so much. Number 3 would be, of course, the movie that everyone would probably say is their top film, and that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The animation of it alone is really good. Like, I just love the animation into Spider-Verse because it was really like comic book artwork, like, for the animation. It's just, I know for some people find it trippy, and like, cause it was like all over the place at times, but I just love the comic book like artwork of the animation. The soundtrack was good too. I love that song. Sunflower by Post Malone is a really good song. I don't really like Post Malone, but I really enjoy that song, especially after Into Spider-Verse. I was like, yeah, this is actually a really good song. I can see why Miles Morales was listening to it. But yeah, so the plot was really good. The fact is, like, it was like the original Into Spider-Verse, where instead of in this original comics, it was like Morbius from, like, I think it was another universe. They were all like different like creatures who were trying to kill off all these different spider people in the universe, like each universe, because they got like energy from them and they got more powerful because of it when they killed them. And yeah, it's just like, instead in the universe, it's like them all trying to get them all. They're trying to bring back Wilson Fisk's, or the Kingpin's, wife and child, because they ran off because they were all like scared of him, and that's why they left and got into a car crash. But he was trying to bring them back from another universe to kind of be with them, and like then he brought in like Spider-Gwen, or as she's known in the comics as Ghost Spider. Then he also brought in Peter B. Parker, which was the older, fatter Spider-Man. Then also brought in Penny Parker, Peter Porker, and also Peter Parker from the Noir universe. You also had at the very start of the film, you had Peter Parker with the blonde hair from that universe, which I kind of like to say that was the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Yeah, it's just like, it's just really good. The fact that you get to see all the different Spider people in the movie, and the fact that Sony just made that film, as a lot of people say that they did make one of like a really, really great film, but that was an animated film they did well with, not a live action film, because this film does really well. Comic book and like artwork, soundtrack was good. Then all different Spider-Man. Miles Morales, like, he did really well as Spider-Man, like, in the movie, and it's just like the fact you get to see different perspective as different Spider-Man. Overall, it's a really good film because the fact that you get to see Peter B. Parker kind of training Miles Morales to be Spider-Man, and then you kind of times go on from that, where he meets Gwen Stacy from a different universe where her Peter Parker died, and then as kind of good time goes on, you get to see all different relationships, all different Spider-Man people like working well together. Next up is number 4. I was actually kind of thinking about, I didn't know which one to kind of pick, but because of certain aspects of this other film, I'm going to say Spider-Man 2 is number 4. Because Spider-Man 2, while I didn't really like it when I was younger, I loved all the Spider-Man films, of course. But as the movies went on, I didn't really like the second film too much because mainly because I don't know why, but one time like where you're watching a part of the movie where it's just like Peter Parker having tea or something with Doc Ock and his wife. So I was trying to explain the term of physics, and then she was trying to explain TSN, and it's like, I don't care about this. Why are you talking about this when I'm like, we're trying to get into Spider-Man? It's not about just I'm talking about, oh, I'm going to tell you how I fell in love with my girl so you could find ways to get you your girl. Spider-Man 2, it was good. It wasn't amazing. Everyone says that before Far From Home or Into Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2 was the best film. I think no. Spider-Man 2, it was a good film, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't like. Like Doc Ock was really good. Like I liked the way that when his chip kind of broke, the arms kind of became the thing that was controlling him. Doc Ock was brilliant. The guy who plays Doc Ock, I don't know his name. But yeah, and Tobey Maguire was still good, but he got kind of worse in the second one because one of the most iconic images in the Spider-Man 2 was when he put the suit in the bin and then walks away. Like that was like a really comic book moment where it actually showed that in the comic book, and it just looked really good showing up in live action. I love when they do that in comic book films where it's like a comic accurate like picture of like what it looked like in the comics but in live action. The only thing I really didn't like, Kirsten Dunst becomes more of a bitch in the second one. Like, okay, one thing I didn't like about Kirsten Dunst in the movie, she screamed so much. Like, just shut up, you biatch. Oh, I didn't like her. I did not like her.
I did not. Oh, hi Mark.
As time goes on, she just becomes more annoying, then she finds out he's Spider-Man. The ending I really liked. The fact is, okay, go get him, Tiger. And like she becomes like really like understands that he should be Spider-Man, and then she becomes badass at the end of it, which is completely destroyed by the third film, but we don't like to talk about that. Number 5 is Spider-Man Homecoming. Of course, I'm going to say Spider-Man Homecoming because it's a really good film. Tom Holland's first portrayal as Spider-Man. I love Tom Holland, like no matter what. That's why I was like debating which ones should be 4 or 5. I feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man and like the fact that Homecoming, actually no, Homecoming's going to be number 4. I'm just going to say that. Number 5 is Spider-Man 2. Because Homecoming has so much more that I love about it. Because like it's connected to MCU. And you get to see like Iron Man in the movie. And you get to see Shocker and Vulture. And it's just like, it was really good. And like just like the suit, when he puts on the Homecoming suit, was just a badass moment. And it's just like the suit overall in the movie, it was perfect. And one person that I miss from the first film that didn't appear in Far From Home was Karen. I loved Karen. Like she was a brilliant character in the movie. Yeah, she was an AI, but still, I loved Karen so much. And I just like that moment where she, he's watching, okay, later in the day, and then he goes, "It is I, son of Odin." Like, no, keep on going. And she goes, "You're a predator, really funny." I'm like, that's why I loved Karen, because she was so amazing. Like, when you replaced her with Edith in Far From Home, I didn't like it. I just preferred Karen compared to Edith. Why didn't you just transfer her AI into the glasses rather than have another AI doing the voice? The only part I didn't like about Spider-Man Homecoming was, as I said already in Spider-Man Far From Home, the characters of his friends. I didn't like MJ and I didn't like Ned. They were just annoyance, basically. I'm so glad they actually got better in Far From Home. But yeah, it's just so many different like parts of the movie that I love. The suits, like the battles with Vulture and like the Shocker, and Vulture's suit looked freaking great, and I just loved him in general. And the fact that Michael Keaton was playing him was just brilliant as well. Number 6, and it's definitely number 6, which some people is going to completely disagree with me and say, why are you saying this? Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because Amazing Spider-Man 2, yeah, a lot of people didn't like the film. I kind of don't know why, to be honest. I watched all like the films come out to filming this video, and I just gotta say, Amazing Spider-Man 2 had like a better villain than it. Yeah, okay, I didn't like Max Dillon before he became Electro, because it was just annoying. Like, I know they were building up so he could become Electro. I'm like, no, I don't like this guy at all. It's like, oh, he's obsessed with Spider-Man. It's like, oh, happy birthday, oh thanks, oh, you got me a cake, oh thanks Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, shut up. I didn't like Max Dillon before he became Electro. Green Goblin, who Harry Osborn became in the movie, I really liked, and I loved the fact that he actually was the one who killed Gwen Stacy. Amazing Spider-Man 2, I just feel like it was a better film because in the movie especially, the suit looks so much better than the original film. Because the suit was like I say it was one of the better Spider-Man suits in all the live-action Spider-Man films. But yeah, it was just so good, the suit. And it's just, I love that, like, just it was just, it wasn't CGI unlike Homecoming, and Iron Spider suit was definitely CGI because I've seen a lot of images where it shows that he's actually not wearing the suit. Unlike that, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit was all real suits and it wasn't CGI. Also, the iconic moment, which of course breaks all people's hearts, when you see Gwen Stacy die, like, and it was so, like, unlike it was the fact it wasn't on the bridge, it was so, like, comic accurate. And like when you saw that when he shot the web and it was like a little hand trying to reach for her, and the moment where he just kind of grabbed her and she like died and her head hit off the ground, I loved just that moment. I was, of course I didn't love it, I loved like how comic accurate it was and like how she died on when he caught her. Of course, the moment Gwen Stacy died was one of the most memorable points of the comics, when he lost Gwen Stacy, because that everyone says that one thing you can notice about it is he never got over Gwen Stacy's death. Like, she was his first love. He never got over it in the comics. That's why I prefer the second film over the first. The reason I didn't like it was because even though it was still good itself, I just felt like the suit wasn't that good. I know it was technically it was his original suit and he made it like real quick and it was like his prototype suit, you could say. But still, I prefer the second one because like the first one, the lizard, but we'll get to that when we get to the next ranking. Overall, I enjoyed it more, and it's just like the ending moment where he's defeating Rhino, and it's just like you saw so much potential for like a Sinister Six involvement of those movies, and then suddenly Marvel Studios kind of started talking to Sony, and then they naturally put in Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which completely got rid of Andrew Garfield and any potential of having a Sinister Six film, which was really sad, but naturally it's gonna be forgotten about. Like, consider the fact Tom Holland was the best Spider-Man ever. I'm gonna keep saying that over the video. Brings me on to my next one. Amazing Spider-Man. It was a good film, and we get to start to see the introduction of Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I still love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, the better Spider-Man. Over Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield had all the comedic factor that everyone loved about Spider-Man in the comic, and it was brilliant. I loved all the little like jokes and stuff that he did, and all the quips. That's what Spider-Man does in the comics. But I love that whole like backstory of his family, like, and actually made their parents more like iconic roles and actually make them important in the movie. And like that, of course, that brought it over to the second film when he found out that his father, it was DNA, was inside this thing that gives Spider-Man his powers, because only his blood will be able to get stuff like that. But yes, this Amazing Spider-Man, it was a good film, and I felt like, as I said, Amazing Spider-Man 1, the design of Lizard, I didn't like. I didn't like that design, because in the animated series of Spider-Man, you got to see like Lizard how he should look, and even there was that in the comics as well. Like, but they didn't put the beak on Lizard, and he looked like a more humanoid like lizard rather than the lizard from the comics. Like, I just didn't like that. Like, I love the kind of the addition of lab coat, because that was how like Lizard is known for. But he kept ripping it off. And I was like, no, he wore a lot in the comics. Why the hell did he just wear it in this? He just keeps ripping it off. That's partly why I didn't put him as number 6, because I just felt like it needed more of a better design, and just especially and Amazing Spider-Man suit as well. I know that it was the original suit, and like the fact that he actually made that from scratch, like sunglasses, lenses and all that, and like he made that suit out of spandex. I just felt like the suit wasn't the best, but I loved like the whole like love story that built up from the first film with Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man. I always laughed the fact in the comics he took a while to actually tell Gwen Stacy he was Spider-Man. Like, she headed over to London and like came back before Peter Parker. She told Gwen Stacy that he was Spider-Man for ages. It's hilarious because like, in the film suddenly he just tells her really quickly, because he was like, oh, I'm trying to tell you something but I can't tell you, oh, I don't know. And then suddenly he just webs her and pulls her over, oh, you're the... And then he just kisses her, and like, so in this one film they revealed he was Spider-Man within like the first hour or maybe hour and a half of the film. In the comics he took so long to tell her. I don't know. But the only thing I loved is another kind of comic accurate moment when Officer Stacy actually dies in the movie, because like that happened in the comics where Gwen Stacy's dad died because of Spider-Man, and that happened as well because he was trying to help Spider-Man out and then suddenly Lizard stuck his claws into him and killed him. But yeah, I just overall Amazing Spider-Man was good, but I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 was better. And lastly, which everyone kind of guessed would be the last one, Spider-Man 3, because Spider-Man 3. But even though I loved the cheesiness of it, and I just like, I felt like it was a really cheesy film. I love cheesy movies so much. Like, if you don't know already, I love cheesy films. That's why I love like Batman and Robin and all that, because it's just like, it's so hilariously bad that you gotta love it. That's why. And it's just like, well, yeah, I know it when I was watching Spider-Man 3 recently. I like, you know that moment where he's like walking and he's going like do 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 do. There's a that's literally me when I'm walking through public. I will literally dance to music. Well, the thing is, I've got headphones on, so it's more understandable why he's just dancing to music in his head. I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3. I'm extra as hell, and I'm exactly like that. I was just so, I couldn't stop laughing when I noticed that. Anything that involves after the moment where he gets the black suit is just hilariously bad, because it's just like he becomes this emo character. I'm like, that never happened in the comic. He never became like this emo character. Yeah, he became kind of a little more ruthless, but he didn't become an emo character like, oh, I'm gonna put my hair down. I'm like, oh my god. And then the moment, oh, I'm protecting the high school, I'm gonna kick her in the ass. Also, I didn't like the Venom suit as well. It was good enough on him, but I prefer like the black suit with the white symbol. It just looks so much better in the comics than it does in the movie. It was just a black version of his red and blue suit in the Sam Raimi verse. And I was just like, no. I liked it when I first saw the movie, and then I'm like, no, it wasn't the best. So the fact that he literally flirts with every single woman in character in the movie, like he flirts with Gwen Stacy, who, in fact, another person, I did not like Gwen Stacy in that movie. Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy was so much better than this other girl. I cannot remember her name, and I don't really care either. I didn't like Gwen Stacy in that movie at all. I didn't like the actress. I didn't like the portrayal of the character, and it just didn't. She came out at the completely wrong time as well. But yeah, it's just like I just didn't like Gwen Stacy at all, and he was flirting with her. He was flirting with Betty Brant. He was flirting with that girl who was the daughter of Rent! Where is my rent? The guy, and it's just like, why is he flirting with every woman? Like, so with emo Spider-Man flirts with all the women because he's apparently got all his confidence from wearing the black suit. And then that was the kind of comic accurate moment where he does go to a church and actually he starts banging a bell to get the suit off him. Then we talk about Eddie Brock as Venom. Eddie Brock was terrible. He was literally, and every time you see, like, it looked kind of good in the suit, he pulls back the mask. It's like, stop pulling the mask back. The whole point of Venom was he doesn't keep pulling his mask back. He just talks through it, and he didn't say we. He said I. Whenever he was with Venom, Eddie Brock always called himself we because he had a relationship with the Venom suit. I just hated him. I hated the character. He's the guy who played one of the main characters in that 70s show, and I just didn't like the guy who played him. Oh my god, I hated Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane in it. She was an absolute for the entire film. I hated her so much. The second movie, at the very end, she becomes this badass character that you actually get to really love. And then she just throws it all out the window and becomes this super like annoying character. It's like, what about me? I want to be the actress in Broadway. But I don't get to be this way. And like, you're a Spider-Man and you keep talking about yourself and I feel lonely. Oh my god, I hated her. I really didn't like her. And she becomes like, I know that moment where she says like, I'm lonely, and like, you're never there and all this stuff, and it's like, I know that was all like, because of the fact that which was caused by Harry Osborn. But the thing is, and then Harry Osborn becomes like the new Goblin, and it's just, I didn't like Harry Osborn's character as well. It's like, it was so, the one part I loved him where he just goes, how's the pie? So good. Oh, there's that. And also the one part my brother hates that I can't get enough of is, oh, then twist, yeah, twist. I just love that moment. That's so much, it's hilarious. But it's just, yeah, just Harry Osborn, he was bad in that movie. And, and it's just all the characters were bad. And also, now to speak about Sandman. Oh my god, Sandman was so bad! Like, Sandman could have been good, but they brought in this whole like, oh, let's bring out a more innocent side of him and make Sandman have a daughter, which never happened in the comics. And then it's just like, where the hell is this coming from? Oh, no, I'm just trying to get money for my daughter. Oh. I was like, shut up, I hate this so much. No, it's just that you had 3 villains in that film, which was Green Goblin, or the New Goblin, Venom, which was terrible, and also Sandman. They were just awful, all of them. The last battle was good enough, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, overall, Spider-Man 3, terrible film. That's why people try to pretend like it doesn't exist. So yeah, tell me down below what your ranking is. Tell me why you think that another film should be lower down or more up. I will see you guys next week in another video. Bye! See you later.